So Sri Mataji has arrived. I would like to tell you that I've been with her for about 13 years, and I've seen the miracles that she has performed in giving people the experience that they have sought for lifetimes. She is renowned in India as the greatest living saint. She is known throughout Europe. In Italy, they have recognized her as the mother. And I hope in North America, you'll recognize who she truly is. And she has come here to give you all what you have been seeking for lifetimes. And all you need to do tonight is to have an open mind, the mind of a scientist, not deny it, but just listen to what Mother has to say and have the experience. And when you have the experience, you cannot deny it, because no scientist denies the results of his experiments. So I hope you will all have this experience of self-realization. And I now present Sri Mataji Nirmala Devi.
What have you been saying to them? The 3 channels.
Yes, the 3 channels.
I bow to all the seekers of truth. At the very outset, it should be understood that truth is what it is. We cannot organize it. We cannot change it. We cannot conceptualize it. So if we have some ideas about truth, we have to know that it is to be known to us. This is what is called as the self-knowledge. Through self-knowledge only you can know the truth. Before self-knowledge is not possible, because whatever we know through our mental efforts, through our emotional feelings, is relative. We find a person falls in love with someone, and after 10 days you find him walking to a divorce case. We find a person who says, this is the best way for us. And after some time we find he is in great trouble. In every way we find that whatever we say is true before self-realization is very relative. It may be all right, it may not be all right. It may work out, it may not work out. There's no definiteness about it. Especially the mental projection as it is, always moves in a linear direction and then it recoils back upon you. But self-knowledge is a thing where yourself is the one which gives you wisdom of the divine. When the light of the self comes in your attention, then in that light you know what is the truth. For example, somebody is standing with a snake in his hand, and it is all darkness. You tell that person this is a snake. He is not going to believe you. He'll say, all right, I don't think so. I believe it is a rope. So no use arguing with such a person. Best is to put the light on, so let him have a look at it, and then he just drops out the snake. In the same manner, when the self-knowledge comes into our awareness, we start feeling the all-pervading power, which is described as Ruh, described as the all-pervading power of God's love, described as Brahma Chaitanya, call it by any name. For the first time, you start feeling on your fingertips. You have never felt it before. Now, when you start feeling it on your fingertips, these centers that are there are the sympathetic centers 5, 6, and 7 on the left-hand side. Same sympathetic on the right-hand side, we have 7 centers. So you start feeling them, feeling your own centers and feeling the centers of others. When this enlightenment comes on your central nervous system, we have become human beings through our evolutionary process. We don't realize how much better evolved we are than the animals. For example, if you want a dog or a horse to pass through a very dirty lane, he'll just walk through, is not bothered. But for a human being, it's an impossible situation. In so many ways we are evolved, but there's a little bit left. This last breakthrough has to work out, about which all the saints have written that you should know thyself. If you do not know yourself, then you cannot know anything about God. No use talking about God, about religion. Now you find that people who follow any religion whatsoever, any religion, say maybe a Hindu, Christian, Muslim, Sikh, any religion he may be following, he can commit any sin. There's no restriction. Nobody says that I cannot commit this sin because I am such and such. So there is no compulsion to remain holy by following anything. So there is something missing about it, which one has to know. What is the point we have missed? There's nothing wrong in any religion. All these great prophets were born on the tree of life like living flowers, and they were plucked by us. And then we said, this is mine, and we are fighting. But actually they all belong to one tree of life. So, what was the common thing that they talked and which we have missed in practically in every religious seeking was this, that we have to seek the eternal. We have to seek the eternal, and the transitory is to be used in moderation, in its own limitation, and in its full understanding. Today's problems of ecology, this, that, all these things come from human error. And the human error is because they have not found out the eternal. When you find out the eternal, then you become a balanced personality. Absolutely a balanced personality. And the balance comes from divine wisdom. All the problems today are because human beings are not at that level of self-knowledge. Because human beings are still relatively living. One person thinks this is good, another thinks this is good, and that's how we exploit each other. We exploit the nature, we create problems, and everything repels on us because transitory things, as you know, are transitory because they have inbuilt quality to get destroyed. They get destroyed, and gradually we learn from them how to destroy. But human beings are the epitome of evolution. God has created human beings as the highest creation. Maybe we have been given freedom, a complete freedom to choose. If we want to go to heaven, we can go. If we want to go to hell, we can go. So this freedom we have been acting on, we can say as trial and error, error and trial. And ultimately, a stage has to reach where we start thinking, what mistake did we commit? Where did we go wrong? And there we have to realize that the eternal we have not sought. We see this miracle, say, of flowers. We see the flowers, how beautiful they are, created by nature. We can't create even one of them. Spontaneously, they appear according to the different categories they belong. The choice, such a big choice. All this and many other such living things are done by this divine power. But we take it for granted. We just take it for granted. And the greatest thing that has happened is that today human beings are brought to this level that now they have become divine computers. They can become divine computers. It's a very beautiful thing that is ahead of us. Only thing we should know that we have to grow into that new awareness. This is called as the one that we call knowledge. Knowledge is not mental knowledge. By reading, you do not become. Kabira once said that by reading too much, the great learned people have become stupid. First I used to think, how can that be? Padi pandita murakh bhai. I used to think by reading, how can people become stupid? The thing is, when you read, all others are in your head, but you are not there. And this is, I find today, that we think by reading will become the knowledge. Knowledge will be, but that's not an absolute knowledge. That's not. That is a relative knowledge. To get to the absolute knowledge, you have to become something. You have to become the Spirit. And once you become the Spirit, this knowledge is just manifested. It can be manifested even in a little child, and a child can know. It's a subjective knowledge, you can say, but absolute. It is not arbitrary, it's collective. You put 10 children who are realized and ask them, what's wrong with this person? Immediately they'll raise the same finger. This is the thing. Now ask that person, something wrong with your throat? Are you suffering from some trouble? He'll say, yes, how do you know? These children are telling me. So only the decoding is needed afterwards. That what's wrong with you? What finger is burning? What is the problem? And what does it relate to? You have to just know how to correct it. And once you know the art of correcting it, you can correct and you can perfect it. It's very easy to master this art. Of course, you must know you can't pay for anything like this. How much did we pay to the Mother Earth when she sprouted the seeds. If it's a living process, you don't pay for anything. Living process do not understand money. How can you pay for these flowers when you have to pay to the Mother Earth? Of course, you can pay to the florist. That's a different point. But to the Mother Earth, you cannot pay. She does all the job without any payment. In the same way, this is a living process, and you must know that you cannot pay for it. Anybody who says that I'm doing God's work, I'm doing this work for emancipation of your soul and all that, and takes money, tell him that he should redeem his own soul first. You cannot pay for it. You cannot put in effort also, because it is a spontaneous thing. Sahaja means saha, with, ja, born, with you, is the right of this union with the divine, is the yoga. For this you cannot pay, nor can you command, nor can you demand. You cannot ask. It just works. So it's so simple. Now some people say, Mother, how can it be so simple? Anything that is vital, isn't it simple? As soon as we are born, we know how to breathe. Who teaches us how to breathe? Automatically, we start breathing. Anything that is important has to be simple, cannot be complicated. Now, about this subject, I must have given thousands and thousands of lectures in the English language itself, leave alone other languages. So, there's no end to it. But as I always say, that when we come in this room, we see so many lights. Only thing, we had to put on one switch, and the lights are there. If I start telling you the history of light and the source of these lights and the electricity from where it has come, you will be just fed up. But it's all built in. So why bother? Just have the lights on. In the same way, it's all built in within you, all these beautiful things, these centers and chakras. Of course, we have to admit one thing, that in the West, the civilization has grown like a tree outside, but it has not sought its roots. This is the knowledge of the roots, and without the roots, the tree cannot exist, and the roots have no meaning if there is no tree. So it is all interdependent. So we must have the knowledge of the roots, and we have to know all about it. It is very simple, and you all can become masters. May God bless you all. Of course, I would like to have some questions from you. Questions should be related to the subject, because I have not come here to seek any money, seek any power, or votes or anything. I have come here to tell you what is for the benevolence of your being, and as a result of a collective, in the sense emancipation of the humanity. So please ask me positive questions which will help you. Can you get Bala?
When you walked in, I have seen one big energy field of purple. Is it my thought or your energy?
Could you repeat that? I couldn't follow. I think when apparently she's saying when you walked in, she saw some big energy falls. Is that right?
When she walked in, I have seen one purple energy.
Purple?
Purple energy.
Uh-huh.
And I was wondering if it's my energy or if it's her energy, me reflecting on me.
What's that?
She said when you walked in, she saw some purple energy, and she's wondering whether it's her energy or your energy.
You see, all these seeing things are out of question. Because if you see something, you are not that. Supposing you see the light, then you are not the light. So it's not important. We have to be the light. We have to be the energy. Yes, please.
Yes, you were talking about the tree. Are you talking about the tree of life? When you're talking about the roots of the tree?
When you were talking about the tree, are you talking about the tree of life?
Of course.
Srimati, I'd like to know who was your spiritual teacher? As we all need spiritual teachers as you are.
He's asking, who was your spiritual teacher?
Who was the spiritual teacher of Christ? I had no teacher.
You had no teacher?
There's no need to have a teacher. When you become the spirit, you are your own teacher. You can be born like that. But of course, there must be something about me, which is better that you discover it through your self-knowledge. Yes, please.
The gentleman standing beside you said that in your practice we will experience some sort of spiritual power. I'm one of the candidates who would like to speak.
He says that I told them that in your presence they would have a spiritual experience, and he says that he's a candidate and he would like the experience.
Very good. You are a real sadhaka, a real seeker. What a beautiful question. Thank you very much.
Yeah, what I would like to know is that once you reach that stage of reality, are there any possibilities that you can lose it?
He says once you achieve that stage, is it possible you can lose it?
No, you don't lose it, but it's like a loose connection sometimes. Do you understand? Electricity, it could be little loose sometimes. So you have to work it out and learn how to make it really permanent. That's all. But you don't lose it as such. Energy is there and your connection is there, but it does happen sometimes that it's a loose connection. Mostly, I've seen people get their realization, then they start thinking about it. You can't think about it, it's beyond thinking. Then you start thinking, oh, I've got it already, I'm on top of the world now, what is it? But it must be established. It's very important, and you must know what it is. Of course, for all that, you don't have to pay, you don't have to do anything, but you have to give some time. Why do we have watches? To save time. Save time for what? For fixing your connections.
Once you have got the energy all over your body, have you known anybody that uses that power, that energy to do evil, or maybe turn themselves into self-God, or to do evil to others?
Oh, I can't hear these now.
He's saying that once you get this power, do you know of anyone who after getting this power uses it for evil? But
No, you can't. You can't use it. It's for your benevolence, for your hita. You can't use it. You just can't do it. If you even start thinking of something evil, the energy will disappear immediately. You can't be evil. You become saints, you become angels.
You say that your motives are altruistic, coming here.
That's it.
However, we have certain expenses such as flowers, trips. How do you pay for it?
What's that?
let me answer that question. Those of us who invited Sri Mataji to Toronto paid for the flowers. As far as the ticket goes, Sri Mataji usually buys her own ticket.
Are you interested in money so much? No. Actually, you see, it should not be, because I shouldn't pay for your salvation, should I? It's not good. It doesn't give you self-respect. But in the beginning I have to do it, I know. It's not good. There's no harm in paying for my ticket. By God's grace, my husband is a rich man, I should say, in a rich family, and my mother's family is also rich enough, by God's grace. And they don't mind spending this money because, no, that is the emancipation of human beings. Of course, the hall, I think, is taken by the people who are here, who think they have achieved something. Like drunkards, you see, when they want to share their drinking, they can also arrange a hall just to enjoy. In the same way, these who are drunk in the beauty of God's love must have arranged this hall and must have paid for it. But I hope you don't want me to pay for that also.
My question was simple.
Yeah.
More of someone has to pay for the expenses. I just want.
Yes, you see what I'm saying, that of course you have to pay for the aeroplane, you have to pay for the hall, but you don't have to pay for self-realization. You don't have to pay for self-knowledge. You don't have to pay if you get cured automatically by the Kundalini awakening. But hall you have to pay. But there are people who also give free halls to us. There are people. But it would be very beggarish, I think, to have even the hall begged from someone free. It's a question of self-respect.
Mataji, I've been a devotee all my life, and to Mother, to life, and still recently I got sick with leukemia and cancer. Do you think I've done something wrong?
He says he's been a devotee of the Mother and of life for all his life, but still he has been ill with cancer and leukemia. Has he done something wrong?
You have done nothing wrong, but in ignorance we commit mistakes, isn't it? Leukemia is absolutely curable through Sahaja Yoga. Absolutely, don't have to do anything. Ignorance is such that unless and until you are connected with the divine, whatever we do is like telephoning without our connections. The connection has to be established. So you have done nothing wrong, but as you have been dedicated to Mother, you have every right to get cured completely. Sahaja Yoga has cured. We don't give any medicine. It's only your Kundalini, when it rises, automatically you get cured. All right?
Can you explain the awakening of the Kundalini and the experience?
Will you get up? Who is speaking?
Oh, Mother Mataji, can you explain to the people here the process when your Kundalini is awakened and the experiences that one gets, like I experience, and it's very frightening to people who is in meditation and who is around you, and you can't explain it properly.
That I'm going to do now only.
Like I have experience like hissing like the snake, like a little bit of levitation, like I can hop like a frog, I can do so many things, you know. It's frightening.
All that's all wrong. You can see, we don't have to become frogs or earthworms. My child, use your brains. I mean, imagine somebody says you have to hop like a frog, breaking your bottoms. Absurd. All these absurd propositions have no meaning. Anything you talk about divine, it has to be based on scriptures. We have scriptures and scriptures who have written, seek yourself.
Oh, Mother, it's Sahaja Yoga by Swami Vivekananda.
You see, now I don't want to bring controversies, but Sahaja Yoga is a Kriya Yoga. Akriya.
The book explains all you can.
All right, why I tell you how I'll explain why. Please be seated 1 minute, I'll explain to this lady. Akriya yoga is like this. Supposing you have to start a car. If car has started and ignited, then automatically all the parts of the car starts working. In the same way, when Kundalini starts moving, all these things like bandhas and khecharis take place automatically, you wouldn't even know about it. But Kriya Yoga is that you take out the wheel and start moving it from outside artificially. They cut even the tongue of the people. Last time when I came in 1971, I found people had their tongues wagging like dogs. They had cut it. And what was said that you have to take it back, and this is a khechari. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. You don't have to do anything outside artificially. It just works because everything is built within. I was shocked to see such prominent doctors from India, such prominent engineers for India had cut their tongues, finished with all their money, and were there just living like cabbages. You become dynamic. How can you be recluses if it's that energy, which is the energy which gives you comfort, which cures you, which nourishes you? That's the energy which gives you all the counseling. The energy that gives you physical vitality, that energy which redeems you. Do you think you'll become stupid people? Use your brains. Now, this one gentleman who was standing for quite some time, so I'll give some time.
I have two questions. Number one, we hear so much about meditation, TM, power of visualization, and
All right.
so on. Could you please explain to us what's the difference between what you are teaching and what you are saying and other teaching? Second question is, the gentleman on the left, he said, when he was initiated, it took him 2 months to realize
I can't hear you.
why such a big gap and what has to do to achieve that state.
Okay, his first question is, what is the difference between what you are telling them about realization and what others have talked, like TM and so on? About
TM doesn't say about self-realization. I'm sorry. TM never talked of self-realization. They cannot. What's the second question?
Second question was, he was asking why with some people it takes longer to feel the vibrations, because I mentioned that it took me 2 months to feel vibrations and it takes some people quickly, much quicker.
So this was from him. Some people do take more time, because this gentleman who is here, you see, was analyzing, he is a scientist and he's aeronautical engineer. So, and he had read all the books that are possible, had been to all guru shopping that was possible. So he's so conditioned. So, naturally, if you are that conditioned, you have to little bit work it out. But also, you don't feel, after realization also, if this center is not all right. This is the center of Vishuddhi, and it looks after your cervical plexus and your nerve, cervical nerve. If it is being numbed by something, then you don't feel the vibrations. But others can say if the cool breeze is coming out of your head. But normally, if you have led a very balanced life and have not been to all kinds of false people, and that you are not very much full of your ego, then it works very fast. Some people don't feel, but don't you worry. Most of you are going to feel it. So many questions in Toronto.
Mother, do you believe in reincarnation? And if so, can you please talk about it? Reincarnation.
Huh?
She's asking if you believe in reincarnation. Talk about it.
I mean, of course I believe in it. But what is there to talk about it? You will know such a lot. You have patience. Sahaja Yoga is an ocean of knowledge. Ocean of knowledge. He is an aeronautical engineer, went to all kinds of gurus and all that. Today, he is an expert on Sahaja Yoga. And there are many you have here also who are experts. So the knowledge is so much. Gradually you will know each and everything very easily. You don't have to exert about everything. Even if I say I believe in something, why should you accept it? Why should you accept whatever I say? You have to see for yourself and know for yourself.
Because I do believe.
You are also believing blindly, and if I tell you also it will be blind. So better is to see for yourself.
Right, I have seen, but I would like to know.
It is there.
Because I believe that you know more than I do.
Yes, yes, you will know everything, madam, everything. But your attention will be now more not on these things but about self. Attention shifts.
You posed a question to me about did Jesus Christ have a teacher? And his teacher was God. So I was wondering if God is your spiritual teacher, when you do meditate upon a life, or is it, do you meditate upon Krishna as it is in the Vedic literature, as Krishna, or is it
just now you don't have to meditate on anything, you just get your realization. Then gradually you will know how to meditate. See, they will tell you, because we'll have a course, see, of about, I think, 4 or 5 lessons they want to give you one by one to tell you how to meditate. Actually, you don't meditate, you are in meditation. But how to establish that meditation will be seen individually also. Supposing you have a certain center which is caught up, say. Then they will tell you this is the center that is caught up and this is what is to be cleared out and what is the deity on that center, and that's how you have to do it. It's very, very simple but very scientific and precise. So you don't have to worry, you yourself will know.
Mother, it's a privilege talking to you. Is it necessary for me, myself, to come back again and again? And if not,
what is it?
Is it possible to come back to this planet, this Mother Earth, to take rebirth, to come back to incarnation again and again? Is it necessary? Okay. If you have achieved self-knowledge,
after realization.
You mean after getting your realization?
Yes, but can't you get more?
No, not necessary at all. But you do take, because you want to help others.
I understand that part.
But you are free. You need not. You become absolutely free. If you want, you will, otherwise you will not. Yeah, it depends on your own choice, your own desire. But you want to do it because you want to help people.
I would love to help people.
That's good.
Today, but I'm not sure whether I want to come back. Because during that period of infancy, I think I will forget what I may have achieved. There may be some of it left over, like from previous births. It's a privilege of earning today. I've been seeking for years.
Now forget the past and forget the future. In the present, just remember you have to receive your realization. Just be in the present. All right? May God bless you. Now, so many, everybody's asking questions. Yes?
I have to come back. I'm a believer in energy, pure energy. And when I am not the seer, but the observer, I can see energies see it when I'm not there. But you know what I mean. So, what?
She's saying she sees the energy.
Yeah, she sees colors.
No, you won't see that anymore.
But I won't. I'm not seeing. I'm feeling it, and they are. I think you know what I mean. It's something. If you don't think, it's just.
No, that's true. But what I'm saying, by seeing it, you don't achieve anything. You don't get any knowledge. You see, you will know why you see. You will know why you see also, and you will be corrected. All right? Just have patience with yourself. Just have patience. Because seeing these things do not give you joy, do not give you any power. But once you are realized, you can raise the Kundalini of others. It's like one light which is enlightened can enlighten another. But if you are sticking on to something like this, I see the energy, I want to see this, I want to do that, that's not going to help. What am I doing about it? Is it going to help the humanity? Is it going to help me? What's this of seeing all these things, doing all these things? Just ask this question. As simple as that. I have to give some meaning to my life, isn't it? What is the meaning of my life? If I just see things and I say, supposing I go and tell Indians that I have seen Niagara Falls, so what? It's in my eyes.
Mataji, I have been trying to work with you for about 1 year now, and I have scales that are causing me like this all the time. One is my first great experiences were with Christ, and I have had many great moments working with you, but occasionally I take your picture and I put it in my drawer for 3 months, and I go back because he keeps saying things to me about worshiping only Christ, and I know maybe I'm not a Roman Catholic, so I don't think I have this guilt, but what did he say something?
What's he saying? Is it surgery?
I don't know what it is. He says he has used your picture and he has had good experiences, but he says he's also had good experiences when he's meditated on Christ. So he sometimes puts the picture away and feels there's a conflict.
There's no difference between me and Christ. What's the difference? Not at all. Who told you that there's a difference? Not at all. He existed at that time, I exist now. That's the difference. And he has talked about me also. So it's all right. Makes no difference. Who told you there's a difference?
I think he did. That's the problem.
You have to integrate. You have to understand the integration of all the incarnations, of all the prophets. You have to understand that. They are all in one. Once Guru Nanaka was sleeping, and they said, your feet are towards the Mecca. He said, all right, I'll move my feet. He moved his feet on the other side, and they said, again it's towards Mecca. Who was Guru Nanaka? And who was Muhammad Sahib? And who is me? That all is to be understood. You see, when Rama came, they said, we believed in Parashurama. Because Parashurama was dead, it's nice. Somebody who is dead, you put him in the pocket. Parashurama was the same as Rama. Then came Sri Krishna. They said, we believed in Sri Krishna. We don't believe in Sri Krishna, we believe in Rama. Whatever is dead is better to believe in that. But today I am before you. There is no difference between me and him or Nanaka, anyone. They are all mine. We are all related to each other. There is no difference at all. Even this much. Only difference could be that today the time is a blossom time. We have so many seekers and I can give en masse realization. They also said the same thing. Seek yourself. What? Christ lived only for 4 years. What do you expect anybody to do in 4 years? I was in London 4 years struggling with 7 hippies. Couldn't give them realization. I thought that this West is all wasted. I may not be able to work out at all. 4 years, can you imagine? I was struggling with 7 hippies. I must say Christ at least was better than me, quite efficient. I mean, nobody listened to him. At least you are listening to me. Isn't it a better thing? And also your questioning is all right, but you are not angry with me by any chance. And you are not going to crucify me. This is the difference. We are evolved. We are evolved now, much more evolved, I must say. Yes, please.
One wants to know how to have the experience.
Yes. I think you all are great people who have come here. Nobody asked Christ. They never asked him. Give us the experience of self-knowledge. Please be seated. Just now we'll work it out. Now, this gentleman, now you've asked some questions. Again, you have some questions, sir.
December last year, and I went to my apartment and
can't hear him at all.
sitting on the chair, and I felt like my leg is coming off, and I felt like there's some stuff tickling on my back. Then I started asking myself that everybody, Chinese, black, everyone, our country, are the same shape, and it's like a chisel.
Yes, you see.
And the bigger one, the molars,
Yeah.
I decided to touch food. And I asked myself, how it happened? And I came to the conclusion that somebody wanted to do that.
What's your question?
So what I want to know is that since I've reached all that stage of like feeling something is coming off my head, is that really what you call the stage of being conscious about the force that is created in the universe?
He has some sort of experience of his face expanding sideways and some ticklings on his back. He's asking if that's the experience.
No. Not that kind. That's absurd. The experience is that you become thoughtlessly aware, first of all, and you start feeling the cool breeze on your fingertips. You start feeling the cool breeze coming out of your head. It's the real baptism, as we call it. All these experiences are not there, and they are not all right. They are to be corrected.
Being a student of Indian philosophy, we read mind as conscious mind, unconscious mind, and Vedic Brahma at the highest stage. Where is Sahaja Yoga as such is fitting into the whole process of conscious as well as subconscious mind? The first question. Second one is, as it does not answer to some gentleman's question, you are Christ and I am Guru. Whether
Could you speak up, please? Could you speak up, please?
since you realized your soul, you became Christ or Guru Nanak or any great soul. And since we have not realized, for example, I have not realized myself, I am not Christ or Guru Nanak.
Did you follow? It's beyond me. What did he say?
His first question was, where does Sahaja Yoga fit in, like the conscious mind, unconscious, and Parabrahma? And his second question was that after you got your self-realization, you were Christ and Guru Nanak and so on, but he hasn't got it, so he isn't. I don't follow whether that's a specific.
He didn't follow your question.
The second question.
But please be seated. Please be seated. All right? Now you asked a question which is intelligent, and good question should be asked about the consciousness of it. If you want to know, I'll tell you now about it, but it is a big lecture on it. And the other day in New York, I talked to Jungians about the conscious, the subconscious, the collective subconscious. But you will know all about it, everything. So I think instead of wasting too much time on it, even by knowing that, unless and until you get your realization, it is of no use. All right? So the first thing is you get your realization. And then you will know all about it. I must have given at least 10 lectures on the construction of unconscious and the conscious and the subconscious and the collective subconscious and the collective supraconscious and everything. Right? That's a very good thing you have asked me. But just now in an introductory lecture, I would not like to talk much about it. But there are lectures and lectures and lectures, and they will be all available to you. But I have to tell you one simple thing, that it is not the mental knowledge, it is the love of God. I am here to introduce you to His love. He is God Almighty. He is our Father. And He loves us very much. And He wants us to enter into His kingdom as soon as possible. Then He looks after you every moment of your life. And you are amazed at the miracles, how He's bothered about. This is what you must have first. I would say, if you are hungry, you'll say, all right, mother, if you have done the cooking, let me have the food. But if you are not, then you would like to know this way, that way. What's the use? Better have the taste of it. And then you will know each and everything. You will know the people who have been realized souls before, what they talked, explanation of everything. Without that, you don't have the subtle eyes, the sukshma, to see the subtleties of what they said. So best thing is to get that light into your eyes. All right? So let us now stop the questioning. It's 9 o'clock, and it's better to have it because you didn't know how the time was passing. And the realization has to be done, and I would like to meet all of you. If you give me time, I would like to meet you. But in case if you spend our time in only questioning, how can I meet you? Few things have to be done, very simple. Those who don't want to do it can go. You cannot force on them. It has to be done in your own freedom and glory. And if you don't want to have it, it's your own choice. Nothing can be forced. This is a divine blessing which has to be asked for. As Christ has said, you have to knock in the same way. So it works on the principle that we are all computers, and you have to ask a question to a computer like me, and then you get the answers as the Kundalini awakening. To explain it more sort of in a scientific thing. But it is a very simple method that we have to take, and you have to help your centers also. As it is, it works spontaneously, no doubt, but if we can little bit help our centers, it expedites, and later on, if you go home, you can also work it out yourself. So very simple thing is, I don't know how far he has told you about the channels, but the left side represents your emotional side and your desire to get realization. And the right side is the action that you have to take. So first of all, we have to take the help of the Mother Earth, and also the shoes sometimes block the awakening, so it's better to take out the shoes for a while, just for a short time. It will hardly take 10 minutes, hardly 10 minutes. Put both the feet on the ground, parallel to each other, just parallel to each other. And you have to be comfortable. You have to be comfortable if there's something you find rather tight on your body, you can little bit release the tightness and be comfortable. If somebody wants to go out for a while, can go and come back. This I'll wait for them in case, because it is something that has to work out. It has to work out, and I'm sure it will. Now, one has to know that realization is not complete unless and until your connection is established. So maybe today it will break through in my presence, but you have to establish and you have to know all about it, because the light which is enlightened has to give light to others, must give light to others. It's very simple. Now, I'm coming to Toronto, I was told, after 6 years. Of course, next year I'm going to come, definitely, no doubt. But still, it is you who are going to give realization to others. It is you who are going to transform the people here. It's your responsibility. There's no commitment of money, there's no commitment of anything whatsoever, except that the commitment that we have got the light and we have to give. And once you start giving others, you'll be surprised that your spiritual growth will be very fast. But if you do not give to others, you will be stunned and you will not know why it is happening. Second thing is very simple about modern Sahaja Yoga. We should say that first you get your realization. First you get a little light within yourself, and in that light you see what's wrong with you and you yourself drop it. Say people have given up drugs. I have not told them. They have given up so many things I have never told them. It just works because your own Kundalini works it out and grants these blessings to you. But you must show full respect to your self-realization, and you must show that gratitude of divine that you are going to spread it. We talk about so many things, disastrous things, but how much we can contribute by realization you do not know. As soon as you will start using your vibrations for giving realizations to other people and meeting collectively, understanding it, you will be amazed. The whole atmosphere will start changing. I didn't tell you how much these vibrations help for health, but also for all the agriculture, animals, everything. It's such a wonderful thing that 3 doctors in Delhi have got their MD who have done research on 3 subjects. One is the physical fitness, second is the epilepsy, and third psychosomatic diseases. In Delhi University they have done it. Now there are 7 doctors in London who are doing, it's not research but recording how many people are cured by Sahaja Yoga. We have definitely cured the disease you are talking about, definitely. And many people have been cured. There's an architect who was described as dead. Doctors had certified that you are going to die within 1 month's time. And he was saved. by an English surgeon. She saved him just by telling him how to meditate. So one has to first get realization, and then believe in yourself, and then you will believe in Sahaja Yoga. There's no blind faith needed. You have to first experience. Once you have the experience, then yourself being honest, you will do it. So actually I am fulfilling all the prophecies of all the saints, all the desires of all the prophets, and all that was asked for. That's a very difficult task. It needs a lot of patience, understanding, and love. You see, it's easy to get crucified, I tell you. Even easier to take some poison and to take some samadhi, but to work it out day in and day out, it's a difficult task, and you really need a mother. If it was a Krishna, he would have used his Sudarshan Chakra, and Rama would have taken his Vanvasa. But I have to live with you, I have to deal with you, and I have to work it out. And my love has such a force that it doesn't get tired, at all. I wish you all love yourself the same way and understand your own glory. At the very outset, we have to understand not to feel guilty at all about anything whatsoever, because you forget your past. Not to feel guilty. You are not to say that you have done this wrong, that wrong, not to count any mistakes. After all, you are human beings, and only human beings can make mistakes. You are not God. So there's nothing to condemn yourself for anything, because now if you have to enter into the kingdom of God, why should you condemn yourself? You should be in a very pleasant mood towards yourself, very pleasantly placed, and know that you are a human being and a little journey has to be done. It's very simple. I really tell you, it's very simple. So do not go into any depression, or some people also feel all the time, will I get it or not? You will all get it, I tell you. I verily say you'll all get it. But don't be diffident about it. With this, let us start now. I'll tell you, you put your left hand towards me like this to begin with. Later on, we'll go into a real awakening, but just now I'll tell you how to do it. Left hand towards me, symbolically you are expressing your desire that you want to have your self-realization. Then your right hand, you put it on your heart, which is a center where resides the spirit. In human beings, it resides in the heart. So first we put it in the heart. Then we put our hand on the upper part of our abdomen on the left-hand side. We work out everything on the left-hand side. Now here is the center of your mastery, which is created by all the prophets and all the masters for us. So here you place it in the upper part of your abdomen on the left-hand side. Then you place it in the lower part of your abdomen, on the left-hand side. This is a very important center, because this is the center which manifests true knowledge on your nervous system. So this is also a very important center. Then you raise your Kundalini by putting your hand on the center of the master, that is the upper part of your abdomen on the left-hand side. Press it hard. Now, then you press again your hand on your heart. Now, you take your hand and put it in the corner of your neck and your shoulder and turn your head to your right. This is the center you catch when you feel guilty. You feel diffident and you try to debase yourself. This is the center you catch. So you put your hand to your right. Your hand on the left side, but your head to your right. Now, stretch your hand and put the center of your palm on, then you have to put your hand on the forehead, across. Now this is the center, and bend your head, where you have to ask for forgiveness for others. Means you have to say, I forgive everyone. Now, some will say that is very difficult to forgive, but whether you forgive or you don't forgive, it's a myth. So, if you don't forgive, then you play into wrong hands. So better is to forgive. I find it's very difficult for people to forgive others, even to say that. And then when they come to me, I find they have not forgiven and they have not felt the vibration. So from your heart you have to forgive when I tell you. Now put your hand on the back side of your head and push back your head on it. Here you have to ask for forgiveness from Divine, without counting your mistakes, without feeling guilty, just for your satisfaction. Now you have to stretch your hand and put the center of your palm on top of your head, bending your head just here where there's a fontanelle bone area, which was a soft bone in your childhood. So put your right hand on top of that and press it hard, pushing back your fingers, and move your scalp clockwise, slowly, 7 times you have to move, but that I'll tell you later on after you close your eyes. Just now you move it 7 times. Now you may have to close your eyes. Please don't open your eyes, because there's no mesmerism in it. Moreover, your attention has to be drawn inside. So it's better to close your eyes. It will help you a lot if you keep your eyes closed till I tell you to open. Now please place your left hand towards me. And now close your eyes, keep your feet apart, and put your right hand on your heart and close your eyes. You can take out your spectacles also, because it helps your eyesight. Now when you have put your hand on your heart, you have to ask me a very important question. You may call me Shri Mataji if you can, or you can call me Mother, whichever suits you. Mother, am I the spirit? Ask this question 3 times. In your heart, ask the question, Mother, am I the spirit? If you are the spirit, then you are your guide, you are your master. And all the prophets have built in a center in your being. On the left-hand side of your abdomen, in the upper part, you place your hand and press it hard. And here you ask me another question 3 times. Mother, am I my master? Mother, am I my guide? Ask this question 3 times. Now please put your right hand in the lower part of your abdomen on the left-hand side. As I told you, this is the center of pure knowledge which manifests on your central nervous system. But I cannot force on you. You are free to choose. I respect your freedom. So unless and until you ask me, I cannot bestow anything like that or force you to accept anything. So you have to say, Mother, please give me pure knowledge. Please say it 6 times, because this center has got 6 petals. When you ask for pure knowledge, the Kundalini starts moving upward. So we have to open the upper centers with our self-confidence. Raise your right hand in the upper part of the abdomen on the left hand side and say with full confidence in yourself 10 times, Mother, I am my own master. Please say it 10 times. Now the greatest truth about you is that you are not this body, you are not this mind, you are not this intellect, you are not your conditioning, you are not your emotions, you are not your ego, but you are the Spirit. So please raise your hand on your heart again and say with full confidence 12 times, Mother, I am the Spirit. Please say it 12 times without doubting yourself. Please say it with full confidence 12 times, Mother, I am the Spirit, which you are. Now, we have to know that the divine is the ocean of love and knowledge. It is the ocean of compassion and bliss. But above all, it is the ocean of forgiveness. And whatever mistakes we have committed can be easily dissolved by that ocean. So we have to forgive ourselves, and we have to put our hand in the corner of our shoulder and our neck and turn our head to our right. And here with full confidence we have to say 16 times, full confidence, Mother, I am not guilty at all. Please say it full confidence. You are not. Let the Kundalini judge you. You don't judge yourself and condemn yourself. Now put your hand as far as you can take it towards your spinal cord and turn your head to your right. As I have told you, that we have to forgive everyone. You don't have to remember whom you have to forgive, what they have done to you, what is their mistake and why they have tortured you. Nothing is to be remembered. At this present moment, we have to know that we have to forgive them. And this is the greatest weapon we have got, that we can forgive everyone, by which we neutralize them completely. They cannot be effective on us. And let the divine look after them. So now here you put your hand on your forehead across and bend your head and press it hard on both the sides. Here you have to say from your heart, not how many times, Mother, I forgive everyone. Believe me, only saying this from your heart will feel very much relieved, very much relieved. Please say that. Mother, I forgive everyone. Now take back your hand, put it on the back side of your head, what we call as the optic lobe area, and push your head on top of it and let it rest on it. And here you have to say, without thinking about your guilt, your mistakes or anything, just for your satisfaction, you have to say, "O Divine, if we have done any mistakes, if I have done any mistakes, please forgive me." It's for your satisfaction. But please do not try to find faults with yourself. Now, stretch your hand. At the center of your hand, please put it on to the soft bone that was in your childhood, called as fontanelle bone area. And press it hard, bending your head, push back your fingers. And now you have to move it 7 times very slowly clockwise. But before that, I'm sorry that I cannot cross your freedom. In your freedom, you have to ask for your self-realization. It cannot be forced. It's too precious to be forced on anyone. So you have to say that, Mother, please give me my self-realization. And move it 7 times, slowly, clockwise, pressing it very hard, pushing back your fingers, slowly, very slowly, please do it. Now take down your hands. Open your eyes. Slowly put both the hands towards me. Now put the right hand like this, little forward. Bend your head and see from your fontanelle bone area if you get a cool breeze coming out. But don't touch it. Keep it away and see for yourself. Some people get it very far away. So be careful and watch. And see for yourself if you get the cool breeze coming out of your head. Now don't doubt it. Some people might get heat coming out. It's all right. The heat has to come out first and then the cool will come. Now put the left hand towards me, please. And bend your head and see for yourself if the cool breeze is coming out of your head. As it is, you are becoming thoughtless and the peace is being established within you. But you see for yourself that the cool breeze is coming out of your head. Now last of all, again put your right hand towards me. Please, again bend your head and see for yourself carefully if there's a cool breeze coming out of your head. Now, raise your both the hands towards the sky and bend back and ask a question. One of these questions you ask, Mother, is this the cool breeze of the Holy Ghost? Mother, is this the Ruh, the all-pervading power of love of God? Or Mother, is this the Brahma Chaitanya? Ask any one of these questions 3 times. Now put down your hands, please. Now watch me. You can watch me without thinking. Now see in your hands if you are feeling the cool breeze. Maybe 1 or 2 fingers, maybe a little bit burning, doesn't matter, suggesting your centers. Now those who have felt the cool breeze out of their head or on their fingertips, please raise both your hands. Such a lot of people have already felt it. May God bless you all. I'm sorry I've come only for 1 day here, and tomorrow I'll be leaving. But in any case, I would like to meet you if possible and see for myself. And I hope those who haven't got it will get it. It is already flowing, see now. You can feel it. It's flowing very much. Just see. Sometimes if this center is not all right, but if you have not forgiven also, if you have not forgiven, some people might be feeling such a lot of breeze, I can feel it. If you have not forgiven also, sometimes you don't feel it. Please forgive. And then come and see me if you want to. You can come round. I would like to meet you.